I recently read the book The Lean Startup by author Eric Ries. In 2004, Eric Ries was the chief technology officer of a Silicon Valley startup called IMVU. IMVU vision was to create a new online product that would allow users to build 3D avatar and interact with friends using their existing instant messaging network. Their product will combine two popular trends at the same time: 3D gaming and instant messaging. With complete confidence in their new business product, they got to work putting in crazy hours to bring their idea to life. After 6 months, Eric and his team had incorporated all major instant messaging services like AOL and MSN Messenger into their product, and it was finally ready to release. On launch day, they eagerly awaited the thousands of people they thought would download their product. But there was one problem: no one was willing to download it. In an act of desperation, they invited target customers into their office and asked questions as they interacted with the product. It became obvious after a few interviews that their base assumption about what the customer actually wanted were completely wrong. It turns out that people didn't want to use instant messaging network to invite their friends because they didn't know the product was cool or not. However, people were willing to install a new instant messaging service that would allow them to talk with strangers using their 3D avatar. That meant Eric Works trying to integrate existing messaging services into the platform was a complete waste of time. Eric was completely frustrated, having wasted nearly 6 months of time building something that nobody wanted. But he was thankful for having learned what his customer actually wanted. Before the company ran out of money, however, Eric couldn't help but wonder, did he really have wasted months of work to learn what his customer actually wanted? He quickly realized the answer was no. Of course not. Eric could have simply integrated one instant messaging add-on service and shown it to a handful of customers and earned that no one actually wanted to use it. Eric took a step back and saw that his approach to building an innovative product was fundamentally wrong. His focus shouldn't have been on execution of product. The perfect plan should have been learning which of his efforts were valuable to the end users in the least amount of time. Instead of relying on the past experience, he needed to focus to determine if what he was doing was valuable. He should have been deploying minimum viable products. A minimum viable product, or MVP for short, is a product made with a minimum amount of effort that is used to test specific assumptions regarding the value of an idea. The story of how Zappos, the online shoe company, got started is a great example of how to conduct an MVP test. Before Zappos became a billion-dollar online shoe company, founder Nick Swim-Warren tested the assumptions that customers were willing to buy shoes online. Instead of building a website and collecting a large inventory of shoes, Swim-Warren approached local shoe stores. He took pictures of their inventory, posted the pictures on a simple website, and when a customer clicked on the buy button, under the image of the shoes, he had to go back to the store, purchase his shoes at a full price, then go to the post office and ship the shoes to the customer. Eventually, Swimwarren was unable to keep up with the number of online shoe orders, and at that point, he knew his online shoe company was a good idea. Once he validated his idea, he could be confident spending time and money hiring a team and collecting an inventory of shoes. If you have an innovative business idea or you have been asked to work on an innovative project at work, here are the steps you can take to validate idea without wasting a bunch of time and efforts building something that nobody wants. First, write out your vision for the user's experience you wish to create after your business product or work product is complete. Let's say you have an idea for an innovative new board game that combines two popular board games, Monopoly and Risk. This game allows you to go around a board and collect properties, while at the same time building up an army to take out your opponents. The first step in developing this product would be coming up with a brief step-by-step description. How the game is played from the initial setup to the end of the single game. After coming up with a high level plan for your product, you need to step back, look at your plan, and identify any assumption you have made that, if wrong, would result in a large amount of waste of time and efforts. So let's say that you have told your friends about your board game idea and they absolutely love it. They tell you that they will definitely buy your board game when you complete it. At this point of time, you may be tempted to just go ahead and spend hundreds of hours making the board game. You are confident about your idea, but there is still one fundamental assumption that you haven't tested. My target customer will actually buy the product It's critical to remember that validations come from the measuring the behavior of your target audience. Not gathering opinion of the general public. People can tell you that they will buy your product all day long, but that story often changes when it comes time from them to bring out their wallet. The third step is determining how you can build an early version of your product to validate a critical assumption. The most common way to do this is to build a concrete MVP or a smokescreen MVP. The concrete MVP is what Zappos did instead of trying to bring the vision of an online shoe company to life by buying a warehouse and automating a system of delivery. Zappos founder Nick Swinburne started with a manual and labor intensive process that was quick and cheap to set up. It was enough to test his assumption and validate his business idea. The smokescreen MVP is about creating an illusion that you have a great product without actually building out the product. It's marketing. It's going easily. Your product is collecting pre-orders before you have finished the product. For your board game, this could involve making a 2 animated video that walks people through how your board game works and why they should buy it. It's like creating a Kickstarter campaign that crowdfunds your idea before you spend major time and money building your idea. The power of this test, the Zappos did, and the smokescreen test that Exploding Kittens did is that they built something in order to measure actual customers' behavior by selling target customers to pull out their credit card and make orders. This is infinitely more effective than sending out survey and gathering opinion or simply trusting your going off experience. In the fourth step, it's time to show your MVP to a small segment of target customers and then measure their behavior. At this point in the board game example, you might buy a few ads on Facebook and target a small group of board game players in ad. The ad would include the name of the game and catchy subtitle and the link of your animated video with the option to the pre-orders. For your board game, after releasing your ad, you could measure the amount of click your ad get versus the typical Facebook ad get, or the average time people are watching your video and the number of pre-orders you receive. After allowing some time to observe these behavior, you go into the last step, deciding to pivot or preserve if your ad gets a lot of click and most people are watching your entire video, but you don't get a lot of pre-orders. It might be worthwhile to spend a bit more time tweaking the design of the board game. However, if after a few iterations and a few tweaks you still don't get more than 2 or 3 pre-orders for every 100 clicks, it might be worthwhile to pivot to another board game strategy or an entirely different business idea. Eric Ries says the sign of a successful pivot is that these engines tuning activities, these tweaks are more productive after the pivot than before. When Eric and his team at IMVU started using these steps to test and validate their product, they started rapidly acquiring new customers. New 7 years later, IMVU would become a $50 million business. That was the core message I got from this book. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And thanks a lot.